So, our new special attack for this level will be making a giant wall of electricity and telling everyone to get fucked. I really like the animation and idea behind that attack. Just making a giant wall, drawing a line in the sand, and saying, "Get fucked, here's a giant crescent of electricity. I've had enough of your shit." You jam that sword in the ground, you say, "I've had fucking enough of your bullshit," and then you slice them wide open. Now, it's not as cool when your attack gets interrupted, but when it doesn't get interrupted, it looks really awesome. Also, look at that beautiful linear line from start to finish we have going for us. Look at that. It's just, you start here, you go up there, and you fuck everything. So it's come to my attention, since we have time to talk about some things, that the Sengoku Basara series actually has not sold very well. This came as a huge surprise to me, because it has, like, fucking, 4 animes? It has a fuck ton of video games, many of which are spin-offs, and I don't know, the games are very low budget, so I always assumed that they wouldn't need to sell too much in order to make a profit. Also enjoy this new gimmick. It's dark now. We do get a new ninja enemy type, which is mildly more threatening than your regular enemy types, but really just gives us a variety in things to hit. This ninja enemy type has been around since the original Sengoku Basara, actually. And in Devil Kings also, as a result. Anyway, I've dug into it after, I think his name is Tactilus C. I always have trouble pronouncing his name. Brought up that Sengoku Basara has not sold particularly well. And sadly, it turns out that's correct, and I had no idea about this my entire fucking life. I just kind of assumed by default that the game sold great. Like, I just kind of thought that, because why would they make so fucking many if they didn't? And while 400k sales is reasonable for a game like this, wow, the sales dipped down hard after Sengoku Basara 3. Oh, you guys might remember these mini-bosses from earlier. This time, I'm gonna get all 3 of them with the Rapid Strike. Juggle all 3 against the wall this time. I told you it could be done, I'm gonna prove it this time. Anyway, while you're watching that about Sengoku Basara's, back to Sengoku Basara's poor sales, Sengoku Basara 4 sold very badly by the series standards, and the best entry in the series, Sengoku Basara Yukimura Sanada-den, a spin-off focusing entirely on Yukimura, that only sold 50k units. Yeah, you heard me, only 50k units. God damn, what do you have to do to get sales that bad? Sales that bad, especially in a world where Hyperdimension Neptunia gets a Muso spin-off that's of reasonable financial success and gets translated into English. How do you get sales that bad? I always assumed Sengoku Basara was, like, one of the best-selling Muso series, period. No wonder Capcom gave up. I figured, like, it was only a matter of time until a new Sengoku Basara game came out, because it just seemed like it was an ever-present thing. Like, you would just never run out of Sengoku Basara games, but apparently, my impression of the series was entirely wrong all these years. So that sucks. That sucks a lot, because that might mean that I never get another mainline Sengoku Basara Muso-style game. Ever. Great. And I do own Yukimura Sanada-den, because my brother obsessively collects Muso games, and as soon as he learned that that game was coming out, he bought that thing immediately, brand new. It just wasn't even a question. Every Sengoku Basara game is better than the last because of the mechanical improvements, and even though Yukimura Sanada-den focuses solely on one character, mechanically, it is by far the craziest and most enjoyable game in the series. For a long time, I looked at Sengoku Basara 3 and Sengoku Basara 3 Utage as the golden standard for Muso games, and Sengoku Basara 3 was heavily emulated by, what was it again, Kamen Rider Bat Ride War, though Kamen Rider Bat Ride War is arguably just as good as Sengoku Basara 3. Speaking of Muso games in general, and now that we're on a train of discovery brought forth by something one of my commenters and regular viewers said, Another regular viewer of mine, and perhaps the person who comments the most, Big J, gifted me a copy of Warriors All-Stars, which is a Dynasty Warriors crossover made by Koei featuring a lot of Koei licenses, including references to Mighty Bomb Jack, although Mighty Bomb Jack is sadly not playable. But I regretfully had to inform him that I already own that on the PS4, so just, like, for a PSA, because I don't want anyone spending obscene amounts of money on me. My brother obsessively collects Muso games, so if anyone ever wants to or tries to gift me a Muso game, it's probably not a good idea. Not to sound selfish or that I don't appreciate the sentiment. It's a very kind and selfless thing to do, but by proxy, because my brother owns most Muso games, I have access to most Muso games. The Hyperdimension Neptunia Muso, the Berserk Muso, the Kamen Rider Muso, even absolutely D-list garbage like Shogun's Blade. I've got that too. So if anyone's ever in a position to try and surprise gift me something or tries to do that again, just assume that a Muso game may not be the best idea. I really hate saying this because I feel like it makes me sound incredibly egotistical. I just don't want people who work really hard for their money to spend their money on things I already have, even if it's out of kindness, because, you know, money is very valuable. Even, like, $1 is a lot of money to me. So someone spending $60 on something I own already, I don't want them to feel like their money's going to waste. Also, Kojiro's going insane right now, which will activate an entirely different gameplay mode for him. Normally his swordsmanship is very graceful and flashy and precise, but when you activate this new gameplay mode, he just starts kicking, bashing, punching, and beating the shit out of everything. His style of combat changes entirely to be so much more aggressive, it's ridiculous, and it's a stark change from who he normally is. I absolutely adore it. Unfortunately, his Muso attack is identical, but all of his other animations are changed, and that's wonderful. It's a very wonderful thing. I couldn't tell you whether it actually fucking changes the mechanics any, but I'm not sure it matters, honestly. I don't really think it does. Just the way he viscerally drags his fucking sword across the ground and bashes people with it like it's a club, that should be enough for you. Look at this shit. If you want more than Kojiro going full fucking rage caveman, I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to fix that.
Matsunaga, てめえには地獄の扉の開き方を教えてやる。